Good day. This is LUVYU's internal analysis of Kimberly-Clark Corporation, driving better care for a better world. Let's dive in.
Let's take a step back and look at the rich heritage that has shaped Kimberly-Clark into the global leader it is today. Kimberly-Clark's journey began in 1872 in Neenah, Wisconsin, as a small paper mill founded by John Kimberly and his partners. By 1920, the company pioneered Kotex, the first disposable feminine hygiene product, followed by Kleenex in 1924, revolutionizing the personal care space. In the 1950s and 60s, Kimberly-Clark expanded globally and diversified into healthcare and hygiene. A major pivot came in 1971, shifting away from traditional paper to focus on personal care. This was followed by the launch of Huggies in 1978. Under CEO Darwin Smith, the acquisition of Scott Paper in 1995 further accelerated global expansion. More recently, between 2021 and 2024, the company invested in sustainable packaging and supply chain innovation. Today, Kimberly-Clark operates in over 175 countries, continuing its mission to lead in essential consumer products through innovation, sustainability, and global reach. Kimberly-Clark's vision and mission statements are notably memorable, concisely articulating their focus on creating quality essential consumer goods for an enhanced quality of life. Their forward-looking approach links present actions to future aspirations. The vision of improving lives through quality essentials appear potentially achievable given the company's scale and pursuit of market leadership. However, the statements exhibit a degree of generality. Essentials could apply to various industries and better life, while aspirational lacks specific differentiation for Kimberly-Clark. Despite this broader scope, their brevity enhances memorability. Kimberly-Clark's values, presented as short statements rather than single nouns, are unconventional yet successful in aligning and reinforcing the company's overall vision and mission. Kimberly-Clark's executive leadership team, under the direction of Chairman and CEO Mike Hsu, plays a critical role in shaping the company's global strategy. This diverse and experienced group drives innovation, operational excellence, and cultural transformation, ensuring the company remains agile and competitive across markets. With a strong focus on growth, digital transformation, and sustainability, their leadership continues to propel Kimberly-Clark forward as a trusted leader in essential consumer products.
For Business Model Canvas, we have first key partners. Kimberly-Clark works with a wide range of strategic partners to maintain its global operations. These include raw material suppliers like International Paper and BASF, third-party manufacturers, and large retail chains such as Walmart, Amazon, Shopee, and CVS. The company also collaborates with innovation partners like MIT and Silicon Valley networks to drive R&D. Meanwhile, organizations like WWF and the Ellen MacArthur Foundation help Kimberly-Clark advance its sustainable agenda. For key activities, the company's core activities include product innovation, manufacturing, marketing, and supply chain optimization. It invests heavily in R&D, digital transformation, and consumer research to stay relevant in a competitive market. Sustainability and ESG are also key parts of their operations, reflecting their commitment to responsible business practices. Kimberly-Clark's key resources includes its global brand portfolio names like Huggies, Kleenex, Scott, and Kotex. These are backed by advanced manufacturing sites, dedicated R&D teams, and strong distribution networks. The company also holds patents and sustainable credentials, which give it a competitive edge in both innovation and environmental compliance. Kimberly-Clark maintains a strong customer ties through loyalty programs like Huggies Rewards Plus, digital engagement, and emotional branding. On the B2B side, the company nurtures relationships through customized account management, especially with hospitals and institutions. They also actively collect consumer feedback to refine their products continuously. Products reach consumers via supermarkets, drugstores, and online platforms like Lazada and Amazon. The customer base is segmented into first, adults for incontinence care, parents for baby products, women for feminine care, and households for tissue and hygiene products. Their B2B arm, Kimberly-Clark Professional, serves offices and institutions. For revenue streams and cost structure, Kimberly-Clark generates revenue from consumer sales, B2B deals, e-commerce, private label contracts, and licensing. Their cost structure includes production, marketing, and R&D expenses, with consistent reinvestment into global operations and product development. To sum up, Kimberly-Clark's model is anchored on brand trust, global partnerships, innovation, and a diverse customer base. But as markets evolve, its ability to adapt digitally and sustainably will be key to long-term success.
Kimberly-Clark's operations are significantly influenced by peso factors. Global political factors impact Kimberly-Clark through trade tariffs increasing costs, diverse health policies shaping demand, and instability disrupting operations. Varying taxes require strategic management, while strict environmental and labor rules raise expenses, demanding proactive compliance. Economic factors influence Kimberly-Clark as global growth boosts demand, though recessions cause trade-downs. Inflation and interest rates raise costs, while consumer spending and income drive sales, with e-commerce growing. Exchange rate shifts impact revenue, and rising labor costs necessitate efficiency measures. Kimberly-Clark prioritizes ethical CSR, environmental responsibility like carbon reduction and eco-packaging, and sustainability initiatives like Toilets Change Lives. They engage in NGO partnerships with UNICEF and WaterAid and foster a diverse, inclusive workplace culture. Technologically, Kimberly-Clark emphasizes product innovation through R&D, invests in advanced hygiene solutions, drives digital transformation with AI and e-commerce, and adopts sustainable production technologies. Legally, Kimberly-Clark adheres to strict product safety and environmental regulations. They protect innovation through intellectual property laws and ensure compliance with labor laws globally. Environmentally, Kimberly-Clark faces pressure for sustainability, focusing on sourcing, waste reduction, and carbon footprint. Climate change and waste management regulations are key considerations.
Kimberly-Clark faces intense competition from two major rivals, Procter & Gamble and Unilever. These FMCG giants dominate personal care, hygiene, and baby product markets, leveraging vast global networks, strong brand portfolios, and cutting-edge innovation. P&G, based in the US, boasts powerhouse brands like Pampers, Tide, and Gillette, with a mission to improve lives through high-quality, trusted products. With revenues exceeding $80 billion, they lead in both performance and brand loyalty. Unilever, headquartered in the UK, emphasizes sustainability and purpose-driven growth. Its global brands like Dove, Knorr, and Lifebuoy reaches billions of consumers, especially in emerging markets, driving over 59 billion euros in annual revenue. Together, these rivals challenge Kimberly-Clark across every major segment.
Turning to the financial performance of the company, Kimberly-Clark experienced modest long-term net sales growth with some fluctuations, including a slight decline in 2024. Despite the recent dip in sales, the company achieved significant year-over-year increases in operating income and net income in 2024, indicating improved profitability. Over the longer term, net income grew at a healthy rate and the company maintains overall financial stability. The vertical analysis of the balance sheet reveals a move towards greater liquidity with rising current assets. The company maintains a stable investment in its core operations, as seen in a consistent proportion of PPE alongside a gradual increase in goodwill. Notably, other intangible assets have decreased significantly. On the financing side, there's a growing reliance on short-term liabilities, while long-term debt has generally decreased, and the proportion of stockholders' equity appears to have strengthened in recent years. The income statement shows fluctuating costs of goods sold, impacting gross profitability, while marketing and operational expenses have generally increased. A significant impairment of intangible assets affected the 2023 results. Ultimately, net income as a percentage of revenue was highest in 2020 and 2024, indicating the strongest profitability during this period. The company consistently generates positive cash flow from its operations. There's a noticeable trend of decreasing cash used for investing activities, while cash used for financing increased in the later years. As a result of these activities, the company has significantly increased its cash and cash equivalents balance over the analyzed period. With regards to liquidity, the company's current and quick ratios consistently remain below 1, and working capital is negative, indicating potential short-term challenges. However, despite these metrics, Kimberly-Clark reportedly maintains overall financial stability as suggested by the Altman Z-score. In terms of solvency, the company demonstrated an improved ability to cover its interest and fixed charges in 2024. The trend shows a decreasing reliance on debt financing, although a significant portion of assets continues to be financed by liabilities. Looking at profitability, the company experienced a dip across most key metrics leading up to 2023, followed by a notable rebound in 2024. While various margins and returns improved, the return on equity remained volatile throughout the period. The activity ratios indicate enhanced efficiency in inventory and overall asset management in 2024, along with quicker collection of receivables. The cash conversion cycle also improved, suggesting better working capital management, though the company's depreciable assets are aging. Finally, the analysis of cash flow reveals strong cash generation relative to income and revenue, with an improved ability to cover debt obligations in 2024. The return on equity from the DuPont analysis, however, exhibited considerable volatility.
Now, let's dive into the value chain framework for Kimberly-Clark. For inbound logistics, the company relies on around 25,000 suppliers and uses portals for efficient purchasing and supplier management. In operations, their manufacturing includes blending wood pulp with water and refining it into tissue through an advanced creping process that enhances softness. They're also adopting AI-enabled cameras for quality control and aim to reduce carbon emissions by 50%, reflecting their commitment to cleaner production. For outbound logistics, distribution happens through both consumer and business channels. Products are sold via grocery stores and e-commerce, while hotels and healthcare facilities receive direct deliveries. Shipments are tracked in real time using forklifts, and efforts are ongoing to use more eco-friendly freight carriers. On the marketing and sales side, the company utilizes insights from a customer database of over 100 million individuals. They actively support 12 top-performing brands and tailor their branding, focusing on care for customers and sanitation for business clients. Their chess program even helps business clients enhance hygiene awareness. Service is provided through calls, chat, and online forms. Key performance indicators like customer satisfaction scores are also monitored to continuously improve the experience. And now for the support activities. The company is headquartered in Irving, Texas, and operates under 3 focus segments: personal care, consumer tissue, and KC Professional. This structure, combined with a global presence in 57 countries, enables the company to better deliver value to its stakeholders. They are currently in the midst of a digital transformation, aiming to be a technology-first, data-driven organization by centralizing platforms and optimizing a vast supply network that includes over 60 manufacturing sites and 400,000 shipment lanes. Now, when it comes to human resource management, the company employs around 44,000 individuals worldwide. It fosters a culture of care and growth through networking groups, mentorship programs, and cross-border assignments and reimbursements for further education. Diversity and inclusion are championed through employee resource groups and a culture compass, while accountability is reinforced through a compliance helpline. On the technology front, innovation is a major priority for KC. The company continues to lead in product development, having pioneered categories such as disposable diapers and feminine hygiene pads, and investments in material science and digital manufacturing processes have resulted in breakthroughs like the Gen 3 absorbent core technology, and they are also pushing for sustainability by aiming to become 100% natural forest-free. Lastly, in procurement, the company focuses on sustainable sourcing, particularly in pulp and plastic, ensuring quality through a strong supplier code of conduct and utilizing FSC-certified recycled fibers. There's also a commitment to halving their use of natural forest fiber, supporting global sustainability goals.
Kimberly-Clark is undergoing a bold company-wide strategic transformation designed to unlock high-value growth and strengthen its market position globally. First is accelerated innovation. The company is doubling down on science and technology to meet evolving consumer needs, focusing on 12 leading brands that make up over 80% of its net sales. These brands serve 5 essential categories, namely baby and child care, feminine care, adult care, family care, and professional products. To support this, Kimberly-Clark is optimizing its margin structure through a tech-driven overhaul of its supply chain. By creating a faster, more adaptive, and data-integrated system, the company expects to generate over $3 billion in gross productivity and save $500 million in working capital, reinvesting these gains to drive further growth. Another key pillar is business reorganization. The company has restructured into 3 segments for greater agility. North America, its largest segment with $11 billion in sales and a 23% profit margin, is set to leverage scale and accelerate innovation. International personal care, with $6 billion in sales, will target growth in baby, feminine, and adult care through focused investments in key markets. International family care and professional products, generating $3.5 billion annually, will improve profitability by sharpening focus on iconic brands and shared platforms. Sustainability is also front and center. Kimberly-Clark is committed to becoming 100% natural forest-free beyond 2030, aiming to be more than halfway to that goal by the end of the decade. And finally, the company is embracing the digital shift, expanding its fastest-growing sales channel, e-commerce. With online market share now double that of traditional retail, digital transformation is critical to Kimberly-Clark's growth strategy. Through these ambitious initiatives, Kimberly-Clark is setting the stage for long-term sustainable success, driving innovation, efficiency, and deeper connections with consumers around the world.
Now, let's look into the VRIO analysis of Kimberly-Clark, and let's begin with its global brand portfolio. Names like Huggies and Kleenex hold strong equity across markets. While brand strength is valuable and relatively rare, it's not entirely inimitable. Competitors can develop their own brand equity over time. That said, Kimberly-Clark effectively leverages brand loyalty and premium positioning, securing a temporary competitive advantage in this space. Next is its global manufacturing and distribution network. With operations in over 57 countries, the scale brings cost benefits and access. However, since many global players operate similarly, this capability offers competitive parity. Valuable, yes, but not unique. Kimberly-Clark also benefits from retail relationships and premium shelf space, ensuring visibility and customer access. However, this is common among industry leaders, placing it again at parity. On the ESG front, however, the company is ahead. Its sustainability leadership, from zero deforestation targets to carbon reduction, is deeply embedded in their operations. These initiatives are not only aligned with market expectations, but are also difficult for competitors to replicate quickly. We categorize this as a sustainable advantage and one worth amplifying further. Their supply chain is also agile and efficient, which supports execution. But as many firms have achieved similar standards, it's another area of parity. Access to capital and strong financial resources support strategic investments, but this too, again, is standard among global corporations, and again, parity. Lastly, leadership and strategic direction stand out. While not impossible to imitate, their vision, especially around digital transformation, has delivered real value, giving Kimberly-Clark a temporary edge.
To critique the overall Kimberly-Clark Corporation, the strengths of Kimberly-Clark is they have the strong global presence with leading brands such as Huggies, Kleenex, Kotex, and Scott, long-established reputation for consumer trust and product reliability, robust global supply chain and control over production and distribution, valuable brand portfolio, and supply chain infrastructure, which is from VRIO analysis. For the weakness, the company heavily relies on mature markets like North America and traditional product lines with limited innovation and weak digital capabilities. It struggles to connect with younger, socially conscious consumers and lacks strong tech or community partnerships. Its sustainability efforts lag behind competitors with ongoing use of single-use plastics and wood pulp. Customer engagement remains transactional, and it underutilizes data for personalization. Overall, it's slow to innovate, risk-averse, and needs to better leverage digital and sustainable strategies for long-term growth. For the opportunities, the company is improving with circular packaging, gender-neutral products, and localized eco-solutions. It's strengthening tech and community collaborations, pushing agile innovation, and enhancing digital capabilities. Efforts now focus on direct, personalized consumer engagement and diversifying into premium and digital offerings. Sustainability is becoming more proactive with better use of consumer data and stronger digital marketing. Overall, it's shifting toward more disruptive, future-ready innovation. And lastly, for threats, competition from more agile FMCG companies, shifting consumer preferences towards younger, more socially conscious brands, increasing environmental concerns and pressure for sustainable products and practices, fluctuations in raw material costs, and potential disruption from digital-first competitors.
That concludes our internal analysis for Kimberly-Clark, driving better care for a better world. Thank you.